Cruising down the A30 in a clapped out Fiesta is not exactly what I'd call culture. Speeding over the endless tarmac looking at the same dull scenery is more of a chore than a pleasure. Travelling Cornwall, however, has not always been so strenuous. Steam trains in a bygone era raced through the Cornish countryside, blowing their whistles as they went. The trains transported goods out of Cornwall and brought tourism to the beaches. It's not surprising then that the Great Western Railway itself became part of Cornish culture. Over time, steam engines were replaced by diesel ones and rail links were downgraded until steam was no more. That was until a small group of local enthusiasts decided something needed to be done to preserve the Cornish steam heritage and reopened Bodmin and Wentford Railway. As a child, all I wanted to do was be a train driver. I marvelled as Thomas and Co went on adventure after adventure. This dream sadly was lost as modern life corrupted my thoughts and dreams of shovelling coal were replaced by ones of flying rockets while wearing an oversized helmet. Over the next few weeks, I wanted to discover whether my dream was shared and if it continues to exist today, in an era where Xboxes and computers reign supreme. Do you think, like, the boy, like, obviously boys when they're younger, I'm not sure if it's like nowadays, but it's kind of boys wanted to be train drivers or work on the trains?
This is the ultimate aim of most of them. We'll say where you can. I mean, from about 14 upwards, we have small engines in the yard where they go firing under supervision. And they can't drive at that age, obviously. When they get to 16, they can learn firing properly. At 18, they can take over the job. Because you have to do a certain amount of firing before you can start driver training.
Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, it took 20 years to get to be a driver on the main line.
When we were boys, everybody wanted to be an engine driver.
Yeah.
You know, but, I mean, so we still remember steam when it was operating on the main line. So this is. And we're not afraid of the door.
The driver was the posh man on the train. The only trouble is, the guard was in charge of the train, and he could tell the driver what to do. Drivers didn't like that.
Well, I've been doing it on another little railway for 54 years. Now, I was a fireman when I was out 2014.
We used to travel from Weybridge. That was from Weybridge to Bodmin. We had a school train
Oh yeah.
that came used to bring us to the grammar school every day. But it obviously, with the line now gone, there's we're hoping to get back to Weybridge eventually. But the line's all been ripped up. It's a cycle track now. It's the Camel Valley cycle track.
We're trying to get permission to extend the line
To
Weybridge. I mean, if we did that, it would be superb. Because I think the Community Rail Authority are interested in it as well, and then they can run a service between Weybridge and the main line station at Bodmin Parkway. So that would be a great asset to the town of Weybridge, because it would restore their link with the main line.
Most of us were not professional railwaymen. I mean, Brian was professional railways. I wasn't. But I've been here 22 years, from when we first moved onto the site.
So you know what you're doing. You're well established.
Yes. I mean, some of the jobs now I can't do any longer because I'm getting old and my bones aren't what they used to be.
I I do this in the winter when the trains aren't running. I know the trains are running at the moment, but I also help the carpenters. So I'm sort of working on this until the end of the month, and I start my guard duties again in June.
You can get a good impression of why people volunteer, obviously, by talking to people. And I'm trying to think of all the crew on today, all the people you met today. I don't know whether did he go in the workshop today?
Yeah, we've just been speaking to Martin.
Well, he's our full-time engineer. But
Yeah.
with the exception of Martin, all the other people you met around here were all volunteers.
Yeah.
The railway totally relies on them. I mean, there's only 7 people work on the railway together, including Roger and Rachel, Richard and Rachel, and the ladies up in the buffets and that. I mean, there's 4 of us down this end and 3 up that end, and that's all. Everybody else is volunteers.
They come from all walks of life. Probably the only thing they got in common is that they've got some interest in railways. And it sounds daft, but that might not always necessarily be steam engines.
Yeah.
Some people like interacting with the public. Some people, that's not their cup of tea at all.
I like working here
Yeah.
because I've always been interested in carpentry, but I like working on the trains because we have a great interaction with the children and things like that.
It was plain to see that the station simply wouldn't be a reality without any volunteers. I wanted to know, though, whether there were any younger volunteers, which would enable the station to survive into the future.
Weekends, we have quite a number of teenage boys and 1 or 2 girls involved. I mean, they can't do major jobs till they're 16, but they can do several of them under supervision.
Yeah, get a few, yeah. The trouble is, see, they start, then they get a girlfriend, and we don't see so much of them then, for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. You John?
Don't know what, no. We've still got 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, we've got 1 or 2 youngsters.
There's one who brings his girlfriend here, and she follows one pace behind him.
Yeah.
Lovely to see that.
Yeah.
Actually, the first day we moved onto the site, there were about 4 youngsters here, and we couldn't help ourselves. We gave them all Brillo pads and told them we're going to start polishing the top of the track.
Although the railway at the moment is running strong, it seems that a lack of younger volunteers may threaten its future. Whether this is because of Alan's mischievous jokes or the lure of women as teenage boys get older remains a mystery. One thing is for sure, and that is, if people aren't willing to give a little of their time towards preserving their past heritage, it may be lost forever.